What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to another, this time of episode 4. A fantastic episode last about. Of course, we had that shocking moment at the end of the episode. I can't remember the girl's name, but she was unfortunately my favourite side character, so yeah, shame what happened to her, but we're definitely getting more kind of answers as to what exactly is going on here. A few more questions did arise last episode as well, but yeah, looking forward to getting into the thick of things today. Let me know what you guys think about this one though down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video, guys, did like and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. Let's get into it. So I think sometimes people look at anime in general, but especially horror, a bit too seriously with stuff like, oh, they'd never do this, this would never happen. I saw a few conversations about this episode because I was interested to see what other people thought. People were like, oh, how did she not break her neck before she fell? How did this so perfectly happen? Like, we're watching a horror, for fuck's sake. Like, come on, guys. Not everything has to be meticulously perfect. Sometimes this does happen. Sometimes even more freaky stuff like this happens. Like, come on, guys. I think again, especially with horror, you should withhold a bit of logic. We were talking about ghosts here, for fuck's sake. Come on, guys. One person a month. Would you not just like, I mean, again, having any logic, you wouldn't, but if you had an inkling this was true, surely you'd just like deny joining this class, right? Someone, if like at the acceptance, that's the thing, they're going from year 2 to 3, I think, so it's not like an acceptance exam or anything, but if I was told I was moving to this class, again, I probably would go to it because I wouldn't believe there would be anything wrong with the class. I wouldn't believe there'd be a curse, but if I did have any inkling that was true, I'd just be like, yeah, I'm not joining that class. No way. Move schools. But then I think that, and I think maybe I'd punish you for doing that. I don't know. I'm still not really sure what's going on here. As I did say in the intro, we'll get more answers and things are kind of coming together a bit. But I hate when people say stuff like that. Like it's not realistic that she died like that. It's like we're watching a piece of fiction here about haunting, and I find it ridiculous. I get the Final Destination comparisons because it was a lot like Final Destination, honestly. Not quite as creepy in my opinion. I feel like especially the first Destination has a really creepy feel to the kind of presence of death. Bit cheesy as well at moments, don't get me wrong. But I used to love those movies as a kid. Third one was the first one I watched around my grandmother's by accident. It was just on TV one night. I think I was around the age of like 10 or something, and it was quite terrifying. Obviously, as an adult, it wasn't really terrifying at all. Always had a bit of a thing for the main uh, actress in that though. After that, I remember her name, but I love seeing her and stuff. I think she's a really good actor. Well, that does not bode well for you. And she's nice, so very much doesn't bode well for her. That's a good thing about horror movies, though. A lot of the times, like it's not good people getting killed, especially like. Well, I say that most of the time they're judged as not good people because they smoke weed and do drugs, and drink alcohol, and be teenagers. I don't think they deserve to die for that. there's a bit of a difference with Japanese horror and kind of Western horror. Usually they try to portray bad people as getting killed by horror and getting killed by like serial killers and stuff. Whereas in Japan that's not so much the case. It's usually good people that this stuff happens to. Apparently. Well, I still don't really know if I believe that. So, is there some kind of ability you get not talking about it? Does it manifest less? You just ignore it? I mean, things like that tend to be the case with real life stuff. Which that works with like ghost girls. She definitely saw her then as well, didn't she? Yeah, the glasses girl definitely saw May just before she died right then. It kind of, yeah, it kind of sounds like you might like her. Dude's into the goth woman thing. She wouldn't usually be your gothic kind of chick looks wise, but if anything, she's actually more gothic than like your classic vision of a gothic chick. Not just an aesthetic with her. Does it? That's the thing, isn't it? If it did happen 26 years ago, why is she still a kid? I mean, I guess you can still be a kid now. Your cousin died 26 years apart. I guess that is possible, but I feel like it's extremely unlikely. 6-6. Is it 2006? I'm not sure when this is set. Yeah, I think that's the 6th of the 6th. Probably 06th. And they did mention Damien. I did say this um May kind of reminds me a bit of Damien. Again, if any of you guys like this show, I'd definitely recommend watching the original Omen. It's not exactly the same, of course. This is very Japanese. But it's got such a sinister kind of tone. I think you guys would like it quite a lot. It's an older movie, so I know a lot of people don't like watching older movies, but it's like that's almost like the golden age of horror, to be honest with you. Drama. True. No. She strikes me as someone that's willing to help others even more so than everyone else. She's like, Jesus. Again, Final Destination 2. Reminds me of the scene with the fucking 20-year-old, 10-year-old kid that gets a big old, gets, slight spoilers here, gets a big old shard of, Jesus, gets a big old shard of glass dropped on him like that. It's a really cool kill. I think 2 might be my favourite of those movies. I'd say the biggest point in that is the opening scene, honestly, with the logs. I love that opening scene. It's almost like he's kind of bringing this about more. Like, again, I still don't really get what's going on here in terms of how this is, like, how it does it just randomly choose a student? Does it just like, do these opportunities occur? And if said person's lucky, they like, again, a little bit like Final Destination, they kind of like skip the list and kind of skip the next to die. Like that girl there, did she just avoid death, and that means that she's like, she's kind of safe-ish for now, or is it just going to continue to keep going after her? Was that just nothing to do with this? I feel like that was almost just nothing to do with any of this, to be honest, and that was just pure coincidence. But just shows how close death is at all times. Again, that's another thing I love about the Final Destination series. Like I said, just shows how many it's interesting because you get told to like not worry about anything out there in the world and just like go live your dreams and such. But like you could just walk a street, and if you're really kind of perceptive, there's like hundreds of things that could potentially kind of like end your life or harm you surrounding you. But none of them ever end up doing that most of the time, anyway. But it's just amazing how much there is around you that could. But yeah, like I said, that really reminds me of that scene from Final Destination 2. If you guys don't want to watch that, just watch, just type in YouTube. It's a really cool death. I'm not sure what to type in. Dentist kill, perhaps. I don't know. But yeah, it's this whole like fake out where he like goes to the dentist, and it's all really kind of tension filled, and then the dentist, he survives the dentist, but then a big old panel of glass ends up dropping on him from a really tall height. Not quite as gory as you maybe expect, but like you see him get flattened, and it's yeah, quite a cool kill. There's quite a few cool kills in that movie. Like I said, probably my favourite. I also really like the blonde woman from that movie. I forget her name as well. She's in the first one also, but she's also another one of my like favourite women actors. Like I see her in something, I usually like it. She's usually really good. Yeah, this woman is definitely a doll, isn't she? That last time, pretty sure she, yeah, pretty sure word for word this is exactly what she said last time. I wonder if this place even exists to other people. Probably does. But apologies, I did mention like my theories about the doll and May in episode 2 and 3, but I didn't realize in episode 2 they May did actually, the doll has still got her other eye in there. So where did May get this other eye from? Is a question I have. Is that kind of like a Freddy Krueger type thing, where it's like they need the belief? If you guys have seen Freddy vs Jason, I'm not sure it's a thing in the other movies, but like because they're not scared and they don't know, Freddy Krueger's not a thing. But the more people are scared and know about him and his doings, the more he kind of comes into life. Comes to kind of, yeah. And manifest it more. Sorry to pause again. I was just yapping for a minute there, but yeah, like I said, I think again, I don't think it's in. I've seen all of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I don't think it's in any of the other ones. There's a lot of weird continuity with Freddy movies, to be honest, like dragging people out of dreams, pulling people in other people's dreams and such. There's all sorts of stuff that is like movie specific. So I believe this is only in Freddy vs Jason, but which is the last Freddy movie. If we don't count that bullshit remake. Um, and yeah, in that movie, he's kind of a thing, Freddy, but like he tries to kill someone, and he's just like he's not powerful enough because no one in Elm Street remembers the deaths, and it's kind of the people in Elm Street being like brainwashed to kind of forget about Freddy Krueger and the people that did have involvement. So there's a few like in mental hospitals, and they put them on pills to try and like crazy them up so they forget, and that's how they make Freddy less powerful. And then I'm pretty much explaining the plot here. So if you guys haven't seen it, again, skip ahead. But it's 20 years old, so I imagine if you guys are interested, you would have probably watched it by now. Um, yeah, he kind of, I wouldn't say hires Jason, but he gets Jason Voorhees to go to Elm Street and start killing people, and then bringing up rumors of, oh, is Freddy Krueger back? Oh, have you heard of this Freddy Krueger character? And then yeah, he gains more kind of power and enters people's dreams and can actually kill them and such that way. And then he gets pissed off because Jason's killing everyone, so they have a fight. That movie is about as good as you can expect it to be honest with you. I enjoyed it personally, but to be honest with you, I haven't watched it in like 10 or so years, so yeah. I always quite like that one though. I like a lot of the Freddy Krueger movies, apart from the last couple in this series. So do you reckon he's some kind of vessel for this? The fact that she's kind of saying that? Or does she want him to be like safe, do you reckon? I don't know. Does she want to spare him from that fate? Like he's always interacting with her. It's really like, what's his deal? Why does he like seemingly immune from this? Is it because he is an out of towner? Is it because he's just got here? Why is he the only one that can see her so close to her? Maybe, again, maybe he's dead. Maybe he's already dead. Oh no, I don't know, because he's actually been able to touch people and stuff. We still haven't seen May touch anyone, but it's yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. But like I said, maybe he's like another vessel for it as well. Maybe he's like immune to it somehow, but also brings death near him. I don't know. I don't think that's the case, but there's something weird going on with him, isn't there? Obviously. It's just like, what is it? And why does she seemingly want to kind of like, again, I might be misinterpreting that, but seemingly like want to protect it? I don't know. Is it a protection thing? She's been with him at school a few times. Now she says, oh, maybe best I don't go because you're going. Why the fuck's that now? What's changed? I mean, I guess the lucky thing is not everybody in the class is going to die. If it's one a month, only a third of the class will die. Odds aren't that bad. Hmm. Her brain's malfunctioning a little bit. That was odd. Again, if that was actually a coincidence, I'd question that. But like I said, I feel like what's the point in questioning something like that? You know it's to do with the fucking this ghost girl and curse or whatever. So they got a new principal as well. To be fair, I can see why a principal would leave this place. So many. I mean, to be fair, did he leave or did he get sacked? Having so many kids die every year. So there are countermeasures. There are things you can do to avoid it, and like I mentioned earlier, one of those seems to be avoiding talking about it or knowing about it, or maybe even thinking about it too much. I don't know, some kind of mental aspect. Jesus, imagine being Koichi. It's fucking class. Everyone's staring at you like they're alien, like you're an alien. I would like to have more specific dialogue from these students, though. They're always very vague, aren't they? Or they're like cut out as soon as it gets somewhere interesting. Poor fella. Maybe we should. I don't know if they've done this, but maybe they should sort out the umbrellas. Honestly, it feels like they've just left the umbrellas there. I feel like if a kid died like that, you'd just start using umbrellas that weren't so spiky. Well, we didn't know what the initial situation was in the first place. This means nothing. Well, again, it's a shame because I'd love to know, but it does seem that it will put these guys at risk if we do. So they're really pissed at him just for like even slightly bringing up something to do with May, aren't they? By accident. Was it that caused? So was it actually this blonde guy that kind of caused her death by bringing something up to him? I don't know. Like, if he didn't do that, would she have died? Is the question. Can't really figure it out right now. Dead serious, was he? Something terrible's going to happen to this woman, isn't it? I'm imagining the scene from again like Resident Evil right now, where it gets like filled like cockroaches or something. Oh god, yeah, here we go. This girl was always going to die, unfortunately. She could survive this. I don't know. She's actually fallen a long way. Um, she definitely isn't. She definitely isn't surviving like that. I can't remember what they say to do. I think you've got to like lie down. There was some like misinformation about jumping at some point. Like you should try and jump just before it hits the ground. But I think that got disproven. I think what you actually should do is lie as flat as you can. I think. I can't remember. I'll look it up in a minute. But if you guys get into any situations like this, yeah, unfortunate. To be honest, it looked like a bit of a weird death, didn't it? Looks like her face got kind of plummeted. Um, yeah, it looks like her face kind of like plummeted. It's horrible that it shows this shot every time I come back here, but yeah, face like, ouch. But the rest of everybody's okay, so she might have survived. I think she is dead for sure, but yeah. Thank you guys very much for watching. I don't think there's any like previews or anything, is there? I will listen to the ending song while I quickly Google what you should do when you're in a fallen elevator. Like I said, there's been a few things. Maybe you should jump. I imagine it'd be really hard because you've got no idea where you're actually at. I imagine it'd be really hard to time jumping in an elevator. What you should do in a free falling elevator: lie flat on the floor with your arms protecting your head. It's kind of like I think that's what I remember it from. It's almost like being attacked by a grizzly bear. I think you've just got to just lie on the floor, protect your internal organs, protect your head and neck. With your arms protecting your head and neck to distribute the impact force across your body. I always thought that was interesting as well. I did recently see about a yeah, it was a bear attack as well as a how to survive a lightning strike. You actually want it to like go through your whole body rather than just like, yeah. But well, you'd hope it goes through both your feet. I think it is in a lightning strike, but yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you think that would be contradictory. Oh, there is a preview, isn't there? Not bad. Yeah, it's quite contradictory. You'd think you'd want to, like, for me, I'd personally think the best thing to do would be to try and have the force on one specific area. So I'd lose my legs. I play football, so I really wouldn't like to lose my legs, but I'd rather lose my legs than my arms, I think. So yeah, I'd rather lose both of my legs and never be able to walk again, but survive, rather than like that. That would be my logic as to just kind of standing up. But like I'd probably try like hold onto the bars and stand up if I never knew what you had to do. Whereas if I didn't know that you should lie down, my thought to lying down would be that would just fuck you up. That would fuck up your whole body. It's like get your legs majorly fucked up and never be used again, or spread that throughout your whole body and fuck your whole body up. And that just kind of seems worse to me. But I guess that is the way to potentially survive. Yeah, if any of you guys are ever in that, like I think I mentioned this before, maybe not in these videos, but I rarely use elevators anyway. If there's a chance not to use an elevator, if there's a chance to use steps, I'll more than often use steps. I wouldn't say it's because I'm not lazy, but just that's just the way I am, to be honest with you. I always just, maybe it's like because I like working out and stuff, I just like the the pump of using the steps. I don't really know, but hopefully that should never be a problem with me unless the stairs are out of use or something. I feel like as a big horror fan, if the stairs were ever out of use, I would still use them, because that would be a big sign to me that death or something out there doesn't want me to use the steps on this one occasion. Therefore, something terrible is going to happen with the elevator. If that makes sense. Yeah, let's have a little look what we got next time. Oh, someone's drawn on the desk. Scattering, build limbs. Yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Again, good episode again today. We didn't really get too much kind of answered here. Again, there being all the kids as usual being a bit ambiguous while talking about it. That's one negative, to be honest with you. I mean, it's gonna have to be the case because it's keeping the mystery in that aspect. But whenever we hear the kids talking, it's almost kind of meaningless in a way, because they never actually get into the thick of what's at the issue here. They're always stepping around it and not mentioning it, which is telling in itself, because I think maybe thinking about it more manifests it more and brings it more into kind of reality, that their death, like there's like a chance of them dying, even just having like inklings about it and being unsure whether it's a thing. Maybe it's like a 50-50 chance of them dying, because they're not kind of sure about it. But now that girl did die, it's like gone up by like 10, 20, 30%. And the more they do talk about it, as with what they were saying about scolding that blonde kid, he just like accidentally brought up for like a split second when talking to Kate. I almost called him Keiichi. He really reminds me of Keiichi. But what's the name? Koichi, that's the one. Even his design looks quite a bit like Keiichi. But yeah, he like accidentally brought up for like a split second talking to Koichi. So it's like, is that the thing that brought upon that girl's death? Like, what exactly was like the trigger? Again, we know that there's a countermeasure team. I think that's where we get most of the kind of major information, to be honest. Addressing this countermeasure team, and what exactly are? I mean, there's a countermeasure team, so there must be countermeasures. How could they prove that these countermeasures work though, if they never experienced anything like this? Like, still lots of questions, isn't there? But yeah, good episode. Not the most shocking death at the end here or anything. Again, kind of did see this coming as soon as she did say that her brother was a student. It's like, yeah, she's a nice girl. She's probably gonna die. She's been helpful. She's maybe been one of the most helpful people trying to work out all this. But yeah, she is unfortunately dead, which is a shame. Again, she was a lovely woman. Yeah, do let me know what you guys thought about this one down in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. I'll see you guys next time with episode 5.